will be diving into the critical issue of tackling long-standing insecurity in Nigeria. Joining us virtually is Ambassador Dr. Peters Odiegu. He's a highly distinguished expert in security safety and risk management, and with extensive experience as a fraud investigation and recovery specialist. He is the Director General and Country Director of the Homeland School of Intelligence and Investigation Studies in the United Kingdom, as well as the International Security Organization in Switzerland. His deep expertise in managing security challenges will provide invaluable insights as we discuss innovative solutions to Nigeria's complex security landscape. Good to have you, Dr. Peter, on the program.
Good morning, Praise.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for finding time to be on the program. Now, walk us through long-standing insecurity in Nigeria. For you as an expert, how has it been? Is there a way forward out of it?
Yes, there's a way forward. And we all know that there is nothing literally without solutions. So there is a way forward. And if you ask me, Praise, I will tell you that the application of intelligence, security intelligence, will go a long way in resolving the insecurity that we are facing right now. So there is a way forward and there is a solution.
So now, okay, as a consultant, you've assessed the current situations and you say there's a solution. Now, looking at the insurgency, banditry, kidnapping, if we go to Southeast, there seems to be a serious tension rising in that region where we've heard of the sit at home on Mondays. Of course, recently, from sitting at home on Monday, it's extending to Tuesday, and a whole lot of destruction on government properties and security architecture. What do you think the government is not doing right to tackle this thing headlong?
Well, Praise, in as much as I personally wouldn't like to meddle into that, but I will tell you that government on their own is doing what they think is the right thing to do to tackle the situation. But again, there are a lot of issues that they are not looking at. And probably there are areas they are not looking at. One thing in negotiation or tackling issues, one is for the person that is trying to resolve the issue and the people that are having those issues or where the issues are domiciled. Now, if there is a misunderstanding or a miscommunication, it becomes a very huge problem in resolving that issue. What am I trying to say? The people involved or affected and the agency or government that is trying to resolve the issue must have an understanding. Both of them must understand each other very well for there to be a solution or a resolution to the problem. Now, the question is, like you mentioned in the Southeast, the Easterners and the group that is doing this and government, how are they relating? Are they listening to each other? What is the issue? Let me take example from Niger Delta. They explained their issues. The government of the day, as at that time, was able to understand what the problem was, that the root cause of the insecurity, the problems, and everything that is happening there. And they were able to reach a compromise, probably for the solutions and improvements they did there, the amnesty and everything. Before you know it, the Niger Delta issue, I think, is down to like 80%, if not 100%. Now, I think that's the same thing, negotiation, listening. What is the root cause of this problem? Until the root cause of this problem is taken care of, we might just be doing the same thing, having the same outcome every day and every time. I think the government should look at the root cause of this problem. Why are these people doing this? Are there roles government will play to make sure that these issues are taken care of? I think that's my take on that for now.
Okay, very nice. Let's move on now. Looking at some of the key factors that have contributed to the persistency of these insecurity challenges over the years, do you think the government of the day is winning? Because the successive government, the previous government actually of President Muhammadu Buhari, actually promised that he was going to crush them, especially the terrorists and bandits terrorizing part of the northern Nigeria before we have this serious widespread and escalation of the ASN and the IPOP operation in the southeastern part of the country. Do you think the government is winning this war? Owing to the fact that huge sums have been released every year, year after year, we have budgets being made to tackle insecurity. Do you think the government is winning this war?
Well, praise. Let me rephrase a little. There is no winning here. This is our nation. Nobody is winning anybody. Okay? What we should be looking at here is what are they doing? Now, and it's important to note that government alone cannot solve this problem. And that is where intelligence comes in. If we leave the insecurity that we are facing right now 100% to government, I can guarantee you, praise, we're going nowhere. It has to be everybody's business. Okay? Banditry, kidnapping, and all the rest of them. These people are living somewhere. In that community, a lot of people know where they are. In that community, people have their information. Okay, now, if all of us are not involved in fighting insecurity, I can guarantee you we are going nowhere. Government alone cannot do this. Government can only work with information. And when information are not coming forth, the question is why? And it has to be discussed. There is no winning. I think it's the wrong word to say if they are winning. This is our nation, please.
Okay.
And the problem is for all of us, it's not for government.
Okay.
Government can go to anywhere they want to, but me and you, can we do? No, we cannot. So I think it is not a winning thing. All of us have to be involved in this.
Okay, okay. Since it's not a case of no victor, no vanquish, our case now, from your submission, you talked about information and intelligence gathering. In your experience, how does poor intelligence gathering and coordination affect Nigeria's fight against insecurity?
Well, it's very simple. If we have poor intelligence gathering, what can we call poor intelligence gathering? Let's say, for instance, you are looking for Mr. A. Now, you've gotten an information that Mr. A is at Oshodi Market in a building, a white building. Now, you were not able to analyze that intelligence to find out if the intelligence you have gotten about this particular person, suspect, is correct. Now, you will end up going to Oshodi, losing resources, go and waste your time and come back. So poor intelligence gathering will lead you nowhere. It's as if you never did anything. You will only be wasting your time, resources, and everything. So poor intelligence gathering is doing nothing. That's my take on that.
Okay, now let's move forward. Now, over time, some security architecture have been accused of not being professional in their conduct. What role can enhanced training and capacity building for security personnel as they play in mitigating these risks? Because it's actually risky fighting insecurity, as we have lost gallant men and women to the hands of at the altar of insecurity. So what role can enhanced training and capacity building for security personnel as they play their role in mitigating these risks?
Okay, Prince, I can guarantee you that we have the best of military, police, DSS, whatever you can call them, all the agencies. We have the best. The only issue, if you ask me, that's my personal opinion, is I think we are politicizing everything in this country. Nigerian military was able to hold ground in Liberia during the time of Obasanjo. We have the best. I think as soon as we are able to separate politics from realities of life, we will go a long way. Our military are able, well-trained, have the capacity. Our police are well-trained, they have the capacity. Our DSS, they are well-trained, they have the capacity. But politics is almost everywhere in what we do. And that's why we are still having major problem in everything, because we have literally politicized everything we do in this country. I don't think it's a training issue. We have capable men to do this work.
Okay. Now let's look at community engagement. To an extent, some of these guys who can't withstand the military power in the bushes where some of them operate, they've actually filled up some of the communities that we have. Now, how can you elaborate on the importance of community engagement in security efforts, particularly in rural and conflict-prone areas?
Okay, that's actually our major challenge right now, Praise, because willingness of the community to engage in this, I don't think is there. That's why I told you that government cannot be able to do this all alone. The communities, they are not interested to help the government. Because, like I said before, wherever criminal elements are operating, those people in that community knows them. Those people in the community knows where they stay, knows how they operate. Now, somebody might say, okay, how am I sure that my information is protected if I go and give information and say, this is this, this is this? And that is where I also think that government should do more to assure the citizens, to assure the communities that if you are giving us informations, intelligence informations, your data must be protected. It is guaranteed. Because a lot of them also that are tired of what is happening in that region want to talk. But the fear is there. How am I sure that when I give this information, that this night I am not going to be attacked or something is not going to happen to me? I think if that area is addressed and the communities where all these things are having have now confidence to talk, to approach the law enforcement agencies and give them strong, intelligent information, I think with that, we are good. But we have to work on seriously having the confidence of the community that they will not be betrayed.
Okay, now let's look at it this way. Apart from having bandits and of course some of these terrorists taking over our communities, cyber insecurity is a problem too. How can we address the cyber security which is growing concern globally? How does Nigeria's digital infrastructure pose a new front line for security threats? And what can be done to address these? Look, owing to the fact that we have so many young Nigerian youths now who are leveraging on cyber insecurity or cyber fraud as a way of earning ends meet.
Okay, actually, if you go that way, I can also tell you that the only thing I see we need to do there is to implement what we have. we have experts when it comes to cybersecurity. Now, if you will agree with me, if a young boy of 15 years, 20 years, 25 years can leverage on cyber infrastructures and all that to commit fraud, there are people that have been trained to dictate this fraud and to stall it. Okay. But implementation is another issue we have to take very seriously. When laws are made, are there agencies, parastatals, that it is their responsibility to ensure that that particular laws are implemented to the letter? Again, we must also take these implementations to all levels, not implementing where it doesn't favor some people or where it favors some people. It has to be a holistic implementation. And I think if we implement everything we have developed in this country, Praise, I can guarantee you we won't be having issues. Is implementation. It's not about whether Nigeria is ready or Nigeria is not ready. If you will agree with me, Nigerians abroad, all over the world, they are doing fantastically well. In fact, they always come out one of the best, if not the best. These are Nigerians. So nobody can convince me that when it comes to cybersecurity, that Nigeria cannot be able to protect their cyberspace. I will never believe that, because we have professionals that are there and it is their job and they know what to do. All we need to do is implement to the letter. No compromise, no politics about it. We shouldn't allow some people and block some people. That's my take on that, Chris.
Okay, if you're just joining us still this morning on ITV, reaching you live from our network studio here in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria, we're looking at getting a long-standing solution, or a final solution, as it were, to the long issue of insecurity. Ambassador Dr. Peter Odiego is still making sense and helping us x-ray the front line of the discussion. Dr. Peter, thank you so much. Now, let's move on now. Some stakeholders are saying there is no synergy between the sisters agencies, talking about the security architecture in the country. Just recently, an army in Lagos or so just recently stabbed a policeman to death on the line of duty. It seems the military man or the soldier now took a wrong turn, and while he was accosted and asked to explain, he stabbed the policeman. This is happening on a daily basis. That's happened in the past. So how critical is collaboration between local security agencies? And how can we now bring in international bodies to curb this issue and get a lasting solution, owing to the fact that there seems to be a kind of disunity in some quarters?
Okay, thank you, Praise. You see, collaboration is key, and it is what works everywhere, not just only among the law enforcement agencies or the local security or the community. Everywhere around the globe, collaboration is key. Let's take, for instance, if we are to solve a particular problem and you are supposed to bring instrument A and instrument B, and I'm going to bring the C and D, and we need A, B, C, D to solve the problem. If we are not collaborating, that problem will never be solved. And I think the only thing I would say, probably as an advice, is all the security agencies and law enforcement agencies across our nation should have respect for humanity and among themselves. You see, I call it a war of superiority. All of us need each other. Your common gate man at your gate, you need that young man. If you don't have his collaboration, you might be getting yourself into a very big problem. The Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the DSS, the police, we all need each other. Nobody is superior to each other, because if you feel you know better than me, I am going to keep quiet and watch you do it all alone. So it is just having respect for each other, having regard and doing the right thing. Let's say, for instance, a military man is doing the wrong thing. What are we supposed to do? Call the nearest command in that place and make the report. I do not think that it is proper or legal for a policeman to say you want to arrest a serving military man. No, there is chain of command. There is a way you make the report. The military hierarchies will see to that and make sure that it is taken care of. And it's high time we have respect for each other. A policeman should respect a soldier should respect a policeman. Everybody should have respect for each other. And when we have respect for each other, praise, there won't be need for us to fight. Even if we have misunderstanding, we take it to the appropriate quarters for it to be handled. You made mention of bringing international
bodies
people.
into the matter, yes.
See, praise, we don't need this. We have capable hands in this country. I can guarantee you that. We have capable hands. All we need to do, praise, quote me, let's stop politicizing everything. Part of the reason why we are facing both the hardship and everything in the country is politicizing everything. Go anywhere, in the market, politics, in the churches, politics. Everything we do is politicized. Let's come to terms with reality and understand that life is not all about politics.
Definitely. Okay, there's a more pressing issue here now, Ambassador Dr. Peter. Corruption. There are state governors who are getting huge sums every month just to take care of insecurity in their state. But yet, we still see some of these states wallowing in deep insecurity. What role does corruption within security institutions and government institutions play in undermining efforts to combat insecurity? And how can this be tackled? As an expert, give us your take on this.
Okay, praise. Corruption is a problem because if this is being practiced, it means that any allocation for security will be diverted to something else. What it means is that things that are supposed to be put in place to ensure the security of a particular state or a particular region will not happen. Now, that is not the case all the time, like I said. The problem, and I keep saying, is intelligence gathering. Now, this government or governors could actually be spending money wrongly without knowing based on the informations available to them. And you see that from day to day, the things that are happening is still happening because they are not getting the right information. Because probably the people giving them information at a time has politicized this and see it as an avenue of making money, which brings us back to corruption. And if you ask me, praise, I will tell you that until we are able to come out and say corrupt practices will face this kind of severe punishment and we implement it and people see that it is implemented and they are not looking at who you are, whether you are Lord Almighty or whoever you are. I tell you, when we do that, when we are able to do that, which I believe that the government of the day, our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I think he can do that. With what I am seeing, I think we are getting there where people have to pay for what they have done. I think he's already implementing it. All we need to do is to support so that when people realize that corrupt practices face severe punishment and they don't look at who else is God, my brother, we will be good.
Okay, Ambassador Dr. Peter, now help us now from your expertise and experience in fraud investigation and recovery. How can Nigeria now improve its response to financial crimes? You just gave one of these. You said those who have actually tampered with public fund meant for specific issues should be called to book or should face the wrath of the law. So from your experience now, how can we now recover Nigeria, and how can Nigeria improve its response to financial crimes, which often fuel terrorism and insecurity?
Okay, praise. I will say this again. Let us stop politicizing issues. That's the only problem we have, praise. Let me give you an example. The police, special fraud unit, I've had occasionally have cases I handle there. These guys are fantastic. They do their job. But you will get to a point when you realize that, oh, because this person knows this person, knows this person, knows this person, the whole thing will be politicized and everybody will want to say, I don't want problem. I think I need to calm down here now. I'm living to feed my family and be good. If we stop politicizing issues, I will give you another example. The Economic and Financial Crime Commission is doing a fantastic job. The moment, praise, we remove politics from these things, we are good. All we need to do is to remove politics, like I said, which I can see that the president is going towards that direction. All we need to do, pray for our country, support the nation, support the government to see that we end these problems, not escalating. Every time shouting and trying to make people think it is worse here or there is not the problem, is not the solution. All we need to do is to be focused. What are we focusing on now? This is what we see the government of the day is trying to do. Let us support them. Let us remove politics from our daily living and leave it in the State House or in Aso Rock. We leave it there. When we come down to the community, let's face reality and do things the way it ought to be done. As soon as we remove politics, you see, the only issue I'm seeing, praise, in the insecurity, in everything that is happening, is we are politicizing everything we do, including sleeping. Praise, we are politicizing it. We should stop politicizing issues that don't need to be politicized.
Okay,
That's my
thank
take
you
on it.
very much. All right, thank you very much. You've landed on your thoughts, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ambassador Dr. Peter. We appreciate you for finding time to be with us on the program. We hope to have more of you on this platform.
Thank you. Thank you, Praise.
Thank you so much. That's Ambassador Dr. Peter Odiegu, who is a security risk management expert. And of course, he's helped us make sense of our first discussion